Good evening, my Real News Midday TV family. Welcome back to the channel for another news update for Sunday, November 2, 2025. And in the news this evening, St. Catherine man charged for chopping brother during argument over land. The police in St. Catherine on Saturday charged a man for allegedly chopping his brother in the neck with a machete during an argument over family land. 36-year-old Robert McKillop, a labor of Faith district in Browns Hall, St. Catherine, has been charged with wounding with intent. Reports from the police are that about 9:45 a.m. on October 20, McKillop and his brother were in the community of Pier Walk in Browns Hall when an argument developed between them over family property. During the dispute, McKillop allegedly used a machete to inflict life-threatening wounds to his brother's neck. The injured man was assisted to the Spanish Town Hospital, where he was admitted in serious condition. McKillop was subsequently taken into custody on suspicion of wounding with intent. He was formally charged on Saturday, November 1, following a question and answer session with investigators. He is scheduled to appear before the St. Catherine Parish Court on Friday, November 7. Suspected abduction of 17-year-old girl in Portmore, says police. The Portmore police are urgently appealing to the public for assistance in locating 17-year-old Elise Miles of Bridgeport, St. Catherine, who is suspected to have been abducted from her community on Saturday. Reports are that about 9 a.m., Miles sent a distress message to her mother and a neighbor, stating that she was abducted. She was last seen wearing a white blouse and a pink pants and has not been heard from since. The police believe the teen may be in danger and are treating the matter with utmost urgency. Investigators are actively pursuing all leads and are appealing to anyone who may have seen or heard from her to come forward immediately. Anyone with information regarding the whereabouts of Elise Miles is being asked to contact the Portmore Police at 876-989-8422, the 119 police emergency number, or the nearest police station. U.S. warns Americans to reconsider travel to Jamaica amid Hurricane Melissa. The United States has raised its travel advisory for Jamaica from Level 2 to Level 3, citing a natural disaster risk arising from Hurricane Melissa. The updated advisory was issued on Tuesday, October 28, the same day the Category 5 storm hit Jamaica, causing widespread damage across the country. Arising from conditions, the U.S. State Department has told Americans to reconsider travel to Jamaica at this time. Some areas have increased the risk, the advisory stated. The Department of State noted that on October 28, it authorized the non-emergency personnel and the family members of U.S. government employees to leave Jamaica due to Hurricane Melissa. Since the passage of Hurricane Melissa, there has been a widespread outpouring of local and international assistance to Jamaica, including aid from Americans bringing relief supplies to the country. Meanwhile, the State Department has maintained its ongoing travel cautions regarding crime and health concerns in Jamaica. While violent crime in Jamaica has decreased since 2024, it remains statistically high throughout the country. The homicide rate reported by the government of Jamaica is among the highest in the Western Hemisphere, the advisory noted. On crime, it added that tourist areas generally experience lower rates of violent crimes than other parts of the country, but armed robberies and sexual assaults remain common. The U.S. Embassy routinely receives reports of sexual assaults, including from U.S. citizen tourists at resorts. U.S. citizens report slow or unsatisfactory responses to serious criminal incidents. When arrests are made, cases are infrequently prosecuted to a final verdict and a sentence, the department stated. Regarding health care, the advisory noted that basic and specialized medical services may not be available in many parts of Jamaica. This includes slower emergency service response times and the limited availability of care for illness or injury. BOJ working with the banks on cash access and relief for customers in hurricane-hit areas. The Bank of Jamaica says it and the Jamaica Bankers Association are actively exploring initiatives to make banking services, including access to cash, available in the shortest possible time, particularly to purchases that have been heavily impacted by Hurricane Melissa. The central bank says while banks have been able to resume operations in a number of areas, they are experiencing significant challenges reactivating their branch and automated teller machine networks across Jamaica. The challenges resulted from physical damage, the massive dislocation suffered by the staff of the financial institutions, difficulty accessing roadways to towns where the branches and ATMs are located, and the absence of electricity and the telecommunication services in many communities. In addition, financial institutions face enormous challenges with security in the prevailing conditions. Critical payment and settlement systems, such as the BOJ-operated real-time gross settlement, are operational. The central bank says it has suspended its fees charged to banks for the transfer and the settlement of funds via the RTGS until further notice, and expects that the banks will pass on the fee waiver benefit to their customers. The BOJ says it is also exploring with deposit-taking institutions what other temporary relief initiatives for bank customers are possible, particularly for those residing or operating businesses in areas that have been ravaged by the hurricane. Bank of Jamaica wishes to reassure customers that the central bank is working to ensure the restoration of the country's financial system, including coordinating with the banks to ensure access to cash and the resumption of full banking services as quickly as possible, particularly in areas worst affected by the hurricane. The public will continue to be kept informed by BOJ and the banks of the progress in this regard. PNP undertakes hurricane relief mission in Westmoreland. The People's National Party says it today launched its first official hurricane relief mission to Westmoreland as part of its island-wide recovery initiative following the devastation caused by Hurricane Melissa. Led by members of the PNP Youth Organization, the Patriots, and the Women's Movement, the relief mission brought together party representatives and non-aligned volunteers in a unified effort to deliver essential supplies and moral support to families hardest hit by the hurricane. PNP President and Opposition Leader Mark Golding praised the overwhelming response from both the private sector and the individual Jamaicans, noting that the mission reflects the best of the country's collective spirit. "We are deeply moved by the compassion and the generosity shown by Jamaicans everywhere," Golding said. "This is what a true nation building looks like, people helping people, regardless of politics. The recovery ahead will be long, but we are committed to standing with our fellow Jamaicans every step of the way." The party emphasized that this is the first in a series of coordinated relief missions to other affected parishes. The PNP says it will continue to work with the community leaders, government agencies, and the private partners to ensure that they help get assistance to those most in need. "We are one Jamaica, and this moment calls for unity and action. Together we will rebuild stronger." Thank you everyone for watching. See you tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. for another news update.